Imagine waking up every day feeling like you're walking on eggshells, unsure of how the day will unfold. Maybe you question your worth or replay hurtful words in your mind, desperately trying to understand how someone you care about can make you feel so small. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Emotional abuse is an insidious predator, often creeping into our lives disguised as love, concern, or even protection. But what many don't realize is how deeply it affects the brain, literally changing the way you think, feel, and perceive the world around you. Emotional abuse isn't just about hurt feelings or harsh words. It's a systematic attack on your self-worth, designed to control and manipulate you. The effects aren't just emotional, they're physical, reshaping your brain in ways that keep you stuck in cycles of pain and confusion. In this video, we'll explore the 6 profound ways emotional abuse impacts your brain, revealing the science behind its devastating effects. Stick with us until the end to understand not just what happens to your brain, but how you can heal and reclaim your life. If this resonates with you or someone you know, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe for more content like this. Let's dive in. 1. Changes in brain structure. The physical impact of emotional abuse. When we talk about emotional abuse, we tend to focus on the emotional and psychological toll. But here's something you might not know. Emotional abuse can physically change the structure of your brain. Chronic abuse floods your brain with stress hormones like cortisol, which can shrink the hippocampus, a part of the brain that's critical for memory and learning. As a result, you may find it harder to concentrate, learn new things, or even recall simple details from day-to-day life. On top of that, the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making and impulse control, can also suffer. This might explain why it feels impossible to break free from destructive patterns or make clear decisions. Emotional abuse rewires your brain to keep you trapped in a fog of confusion and indecision, tethered to the present moment of pain. 2. The overactive amygdala, living in constant fear. Have you ever felt like you're always on edge, even in situations that aren't dangerous? That's your amygdala, the brain's fear center, working overtime. Emotional abuse heightens your amygdala's activity, leaving you in a constant state of fight or flight. This hyperactive state makes you feel anxious, fearful, and unable to relax, even when there's no immediate threat. The result? Everyday stressors feel overwhelming, and your body becomes exhausted from living in a perpetual state of alertness. This isn't just mental. It's a physical change in your brain that leaves you feeling drained, fragile, and on edge. 3. The emotional toll. Depression, anxiety, and emotional dysregulation. Emotional abuse doesn't just hurt your feelings. It disrupts your brain's chemistry. Neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which regulate mood, become imbalanced. This can lead to depression, anxiety, and a general loss of motivation. On top of that, the damage to your prefrontal cortex makes it harder to regulate your emotions. You might find yourself experiencing extreme mood swings, feeling okay one moment and devastated the next. This emotional instability can make even simple tasks feel overwhelming, leaving you trapped in a cycle of sadness, stress, and self-doubt. 4. Cognitive dissonance. When your mind can't reconcile the pain. One of the most confusing effects of emotional abuse is cognitive dissonance, a mental conflict that occurs when you hold 2 contradictory beliefs at the same time. In an abusive relationship, this might look like loving or feeling attached to your abuser while also recognizing the pain they're causing you. Your brain hates this kind of conflict, so it tries to resolve it by rationalizing the abuse or minimizing its impact. This mental gymnastics keeps you trapped in the relationship, constantly trying to make sense of your conflicting emotions instead of recognizing the abuse for what it is. 5. Trauma bonding. When abuse feels like love. Trauma bonding is one of the most insidious effects of emotional abuse. It happens when victims form deep emotional attachments to their abusers due to a cycle of abuse followed by affection or kindness. Here's the science. During the honeymoon phase of the abuse cycle, when your abuser is being kind or loving, your brain releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine. This creates a temporary sense of relief and happiness, which you become dependent on. Even though the abuse is damaging, Your brain starts to associate these brief moments of kindness with safety and love. This chemical attachment keeps you tethered to your abuser, making it incredibly difficult to leave. 6. Low self-esteem and altered perception of reality. Perhaps the most damaging aspect of emotional abuse is how it warps your perception of yourself and the world. Over time, you might start to internalize the negative messages from your abuser, leading to low self-esteem and a diminished sense of self-worth. You may begin to believe that you deserve the abuse or that you're unworthy of love and respect. This distorted self-view makes it even harder to break free. Gaslighting, a common tactic in emotional abuse, further distorts your perception of reality. When your abuser manipulates you into doubting your own memories or experiences, you start questioning what's real and what's not. This confusion leaves you feeling disoriented, powerless, and unable to trust your own judgment. The road to healing. The sad truth is that emotional abuse profoundly impacts your brain, but here's the good news. These changes don't have to be permanent. The human brain is incredibly resilient, capable of rewiring and healing with the right support. Recognizing the effects of emotional abuse is the first step toward recovery. Therapy, support groups, and trusted relationships can all play a crucial role in your healing journey. Remember, you don't have to go through this alone. Healing takes time, but it is possible. By understanding how emotional abuse affects your brain, you can take the first steps toward reclaiming your life, rebuilding your self-worth, and moving forward. If this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear this. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so you never miss content like this. For more in-depth videos on topics that matter, check out our other content. We're here to help you on your journey to growth and self-discovery. Thank you for watching, and remember, your worth isn't defined by someone else's treatment of you. You deserve love, respect, and healing.